Okay, now let us access the vManage UI and perform some initial configuration. How do we access the UI? If you look at this particular access guide, it should be on port 8443 and protocol is HTTPS. Okay, let's go to our browser, and I have copied this particular IP address already, 8443, as we don't have the certificate that is installed for the browser for this particular vManage. Let's accept, and then the login is admin login. Okay, so this is how the Cisco vManage looks like. So this is basically your centralized management portal for configuration, operations, and troubleshooting part of view from the Cisco SD-WAN perspective, right? Now, you see we don't have any vSmart added, or we don't have any WAN edge devices are added, or we don't have any vBond added for this particular vManage. Okay, so before adding these devices, we need to perform certain initial configurations. Let's go to administration and settings. The organization name, so which we need to set. So the organization name is unique for entire overlay for the SD-WAN fabric. Okay, so you need to get this from your Cisco Smart Account portal. Edit. So here the organization name is LearnEdge. So confirm the organization name, LearnEdge, and then save. Okay, so we can also add our vBond, the transport interface IP address here. Let us add the vBond IP address. Let's go to the topology and find out what is the vBond IP. So here in this case 9.1.5.2. Let us add that IP as well. Okay, so this is the initial configuration that is required, and apart from this we also need to install the root certificate if at all we want to use the enterprise root CA as part of your bring up. So basically if you want to install, let's say for your production network, right, if you want to use Cisco's provided root certificate, which is Symantec or a Desi cert depending on the version release, right? So you don't need to worry about anything. But let's say if your enterprise is having a hardcode requirement saying we don't want to use any other third-party certificates, we want to use our own enterprise certificates, you need to install your enterprise root CA certificate within all the devices. I mean all the devices in the SD-WAN fabric. Okay, so what we can do is, so we can see here the control certificate authorization. So there are few options here. You can look Cisco automated. So basically Cisco will try to get the certificates for all the devices, and then this is how the process works. Okay, as soon as you add all the devices, Cisco will try to send the CSRs, the certificate signing requests of all those controllers, send it to the Symantec portal. Okay, either Symantec automated or Cisco automated, and then it gets approved by your Cisco's team at the back end. Once it gets approved, you will receive the certificates. I mean, and the certificates will be automatically installed within those controller devices, basically on the vManage, vBond, and then the vSmart. Okay, but as a part of lab, we are going to install our enterprise root certificate, right? So I'm going to do it manually. Okay, so basically you can do enterprise root certificate here. What I'm doing is I have my enterprise root CA. So you can see this is my root CA. I'm just go ahead and copying it here. You see here, so that I can just install the enterprise root certificate on the vManage. So before that, let's go and verify here what is my shows certificate root CA cert. You see this is the default one, right? So as of now, my certificate root CA, the enterprise, the root CA is with Learnedge, but I don't see anything that is coming from Learnedge here. So it is having the default root CA, which is by default installed within the vManage. So coming from the Verizon, the Symantec and DigiCert, all those stuff. Okay, so what we can do is, let me go down to see. I think I lost my SSH access. Let me just try to access it again. Okay, so let me just include Learnedge. So there is no certificate, I mean the root CA installed here, right? Now let's go here to our UI, import and save. So now let's click here. You see this is basically our certificate, right? Or you can also do select file and then import your PEM file as well here, the root CA. Okay, so there is an option here. So now let's go to our this one and the CLI, and you see here Learnedge. Now we have installed our own root CA. Okay, now let's go to our vManage. We can see this particular thing, I mean dashboard. I want to go to the main dashboard. We have installed root CA, but we didn't install the actual signed certificate. Okay, so in our next video we are going to install our signed certificate. We are going to generate the CSR and we are going to sign it by enterprise root CA and install it on the vManage.